Good morning, good morning. Santana's Barbershop, backwoods barber here. I'm gonna go over barber school with you guys. 'Cause I know now it's in style for everybody to be a barber. Everybody wants to be a barber and cut hair. That's what's going on. Cool. What's up? I'm gonna touch on barber schools, all right? I'm gonna lay it out flat to you. Barber schools are not going to show you how to do a good fade. Barber schools are not going to show you how to do a low taper. Barber schools are not going to show you how to do a nice lineup. Barber schools are not going to show you how to use a straight razor good. Now, barber schools will teach you about sanitation. Barber schools will teach you how to cut women's hair, how to section women's hair and cut women's hair. Barber schools will teach you about history. Barber schools will teach you how to conduct yourself as a professional barber and about hygiene. That's it. Most of these barber schools put you in front of a book, and you can't learn how to cut hair about from reading it. You're gonna tell me that you could read a book and learn how to change an engine? No, you gotta actually have hands on. You might have the idea of how things go. So the barber school I was in, I think it had potential to teach people how to cut hair good and fade good, but I went to a great school. I had a great instructor. I'm not going to mention the name of the school, but I had a great instructor. And to put it kind of short, my instructor was kind of on his way out. He was in a transition period, and I knew that was true because after my class, the school shut down. With that said, all them people who come into your shop from the streets who want that perfect fade, the perfect blend, the crispy lineup, the only way to learn how to cut hair is cutting in the streets. I went into barber school. See, I see it different because I went into barber school. I've been cutting since I was 12. And I went into barber school already. I went into barber school at the age of 44. I'm 46 now. I went in there as a barber who knew how to cut already. All right, now I did go with the mentality of, oh, I can't learn nothing new. That's bullcrap. I learned a lot. I learned about sanitation. I learned scissors, well, shears. Another thing, they're not called scissors, they're shears. I learned shear work. I learned how to cut women's hair, layer women's hair, but I don't do that in my shop anyway. I learned a lot about history. Learned a lot about sanitation. Learned a lot about sterilization. How to conduct yourself. How to be a professional. That's what school taught me. But I've had people come into my shop who are licensed, can't cut. They have an idea, and the idea is from a book. The idea is from watching. It's not from actual hands-on. The only way to learn how to cut hair and do a good cut, like a fade, all cuts are based on fades. Some people will come and get a 3-2-1, three on top, two blend down, 2-1. Those are kind of easy. But to get all that weight out and all those lines out, repetition, man. You're gonna learn how to cut in the. I learned how to cut in the streets. I cut all my friends from the streets. I cut all my kids from high school, all the people I knew in the streets. Cutting in my house, cutting in my bedroom. You know, my mom's like, damn, you got all these people coming in and out. That's how I learned. And the only way you're gonna learn is to actually do it. Schools aren't gonna teach you how to do skin fades. It's not gonna. Skin fades are the hardest thing in our industry to do. A good skin fade is the real hardest thing in the industry to do. Okay. Straight razor lineups. I'm not talking about paint. Don't even get me started on the friggin' paint and people who are and Photoshop haircuts. Stay off Instagram. Instagram ain't gonna make you a good barber. Instagram's gonna piss you off because you're gonna see cuts you can't do. You're gonna see goals you can't make because these people are putting paint on people's heads and showing the cut, acting like they ain't painted, and you're sitting there going, "Why did my face come out that good?" Stay off Instagram, man. Another thing too, just because you buy this new clipper that some influencer said is the best clip, it ain't gonna make you cut better. Listen, man, I'm gonna be straight up. If you suck with a bad clipper, you're gonna suck with a good clipper. Now, I'm not being cocky. I'm just saying I sucked at one time. But I was so young and it was so back in the day that barbering was just like wasn't really a thing. So a fade that wasn't that great wasn't really noticeable. Now, now with all the Instagram stuff and all the fades and all this, it's noticeable. People will look at your picture and go, "Man, look at that little bit of that fade could be a little better. Look at this one on Instagram." They don't realize it got painted. But the only way to learn how to cut, man, is cutting on the streets. On the streets. All right? You get dudes walk in. I get everybody in my shop. I get the old men to the drug dealers. I get everything, bottom to end, gang members, old men, kids. And some people want a nice fade. And you really need to practice. The best thing to do, see, I grew up, I had two younger brothers, so I was able to cut them for years. I mean, since they were babies, I was cutting my brothers. So if I jacked their head up, no one really noticed. I was saving my dad money on haircuts, so he didn't really care. Barber school is not going to teach you how to do a fade. If you're going into barber school thinking you're going to come out and learn how to do a fade, now I'm not going to lie. There might be some barber schools with some instructors, like if I was an instructor in a school, you learn how to fade. You'd come out of there doing a fade. Now there are some schools that will teach you how to fade. But the only way is hands-on, man. You have to be in your house cutting. Cut for free. Cutting. Because, I mean, and I'm not saying one person, because one person's hair, once you get used to one person's hair, you could do a nice fade on that person. But then when someone else comes with a different kind of hair, Asian hair, black hair, white hair, it's all different, okay? Asian hair sticks out, Mexican hair sticks out, white hair sticks down, black hair is curled up, Asian hair sticks up. So I'm just telling you now, if you're going to barber school thinking you're gonna come out and be this Instagram sensation, you're not. It's not reality. The reality is busting your ass, getting people to sit in your chair in your house, not in a barbershop. A barbershop is not a place to learn how to cut hair. A barbershop is a place to make money. Before you go to a barbershop, you better know how to cut hair. You better be good. Because all you're going to do is have no one sit in your chair, and you're going to give the barbershop a bad rap. So I'm telling you right now, for barber schools, it'll get you that piece of paper that can get you started. But while you're waiting on all that, cut hair in your house, man. Get a little, man. I used to cut hair in I had a rug in my bedroom, nasty hair everywhere. I used to cut on a stool. No proper lighting, nothing. That's how you're going to get good. That's the only way you're going to get good. Barber schools are not going to teach you how to do it. Now, listen, there probably are some barber schools where the instructor will focus and narrow in on it and just get there and get you getting out that skin line. Repetition. It's all in the hand. It's like riding a bike. You could hop on a bike. You could ride a bike all your life. Stop riding a bike for 35 years. You could hop on that bike and ride it. Same thing with barbering. Once you got that stroke in your hand and you got the eye for knowing how to move your guard, this is how you know when you're good. When you're cutting hair and you're automatically moving the guard with your hand, the blade. If you got to stop and go 1 click, 2 click, you're not good yet. You're learning. I'm always learning. I learn something new every day. But I'm just telling you a little bit about barber schools, man. Don't depend on that barber school to teach you how to cut hair. Get on the streets and hustle. Get people. I'm not saying be Marvy Marv or whatever his name is, the other guy that goes with a chair. I'm not saying be that person, because all you can do is embarrass yourself in public. Okay, you're not going to be like Vic Blends or nothing. Cut in your house. Gain your friends. If you don't have your friends as clientele, you're not going to work in a barbershop. If you can't even get your friends to trust you to give them a cut, customers aren't going to be happy with you. So listen to me. I'm going to say it one more time. Barber school will not show you how to cut hair good. Barber school will show you how to move hair around, how to manipulate hair. But to do a nice fade, to do stuff right, in the streets. cut, cut, cut. Repetition. Don't stop. Out.